Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, will Kawhi Leonard finish this year and be considered the best player in the world? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, be sure to check out our Dreamerspro Podcast, which we have linked in the description below. Also, be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro premium platform that we're launching next week. And also be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro website, dreamerspro.com, which we're going to be launching sometime in January. So be on the lookout for all three of those things. Again, I want to wish you guys a happy new year. It all depends, again, when you guys are seeing this video. I wish, I know we had a pretty tough 2020. It's been a crazy year. But I'm glad to see that most of us have made it here to the end. So I'm wishing you guys a very good year. I hope you guys finish off the year very, very strong going to the next year and just kick butt, really. Just make 2021 the best year ever. I hope we've all learned from the things that went wrong. We've learned our lessons and go into this year not caught off guard. I hope everybody just goes in and just really just has the best year of your life. And I believe all of you guys will do it if you remain focused and you just keep pressing on and you have a game plan going into this year. I hope watching us at the channel kind of persevere, produce content every single day, keep working hard. I hope it gives you guys the motivation to know that anything can be overcome with a lot of hard work, perseverance, planning, and I think you guys are going to have a fantastic year. So I'm wishing you guys a fantastic year. All the Laker fans, you people that hate this channel, love this channel, wishing you guys a great year. So have a fantastic year. So let's get into the topic here. I've already done my season green. So let me get into the topic here. So I won't keep you guys too long. So I think it's safe to say at this point that Kawhi Leonard is a top 3 NBA player in the world. Most people will consider him to be a top 3. Even Stephen A. Smith will consider him to be a top 3 player in the world. And when you mention the top 3 players in the world, there are usually 3 players that come to mind: LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard. These are usually the 3 players in the world. Now, some will say LeBron because of his overall game, his playmaking, his IQ, his experience, right? Some people will say LeBron James, and kudos to you. Some people will say Kevin Durant because of his versatility as a scorer and his rim protector. Guy's 6'11" or whatever it is, 6'10", I'm not sure what it is. And he's just pretty much unguardable when he's on top of his game and he's healthy, right? There's no one in the NBA like Kevin Durant. You have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's a different thing, but KD is just, KD is amazing. And he provides some rim protection. And some people will say that Kawhi Leonard could be, considered the best player in the world because of his ability to play on both sides of the court. He can go out there and get you at least 25 points a game and 9 or 7 or 8 rebounds and get you a couple assists, but the guy can also take the assignment of trying to lock up your best defender. And given so far, I think he's played 8 or 9 years in the NBA. Made all 4 all NBA defensive teams, 6 all NBA defensive teams, and has 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards. I think it's safe to say that the guy can play defense, right? I think it's safe to say he's the best perimeter defender in the league. I think it's safe to say most people will consider him to be that. Others won't, right? And also because of his IQ, his basketball IQ. Kawhi is a very smart player. I mean, he was bred in that San Antonio Spurs system with Greg Popovich. He's a very, very smart player. And also, I think because of his ability to play out of the post. I think he's the best post player at his position and also wing post player in the NBA. I think he's the best post player. I think he plays perfectly in the triangle. And I think he was taught by the best post player during his career, which was Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, to me, was the best post. Kobe Bryant was the most complete basketball player I've ever seen in my life play basketball. If we're talking about from a technical standpoint, he's the most skilled basketball player that ever lived. You can go ask Chauncey Billups. Even Chauncey Billups said that. Kobe, come on, Kobe. And Kobe learned from Hakeem, right? Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. He was the first player that went to Hakeem to go learn how to play from the post, and he was the only one that perfected it. LeBron went, Dwight Howard went, I think Carmelo Anthony went, Amari Stoudemire went. Kobe was the only one that perfected it. If you go watch Kobe's post moves, it's not even close. It's not literally, it's not even close. He was the best post player in basketball when he played, in my opinion, and I don't even think it was close, to be honest with you. And that's what Kawhi Leonard kind of mastered his game after, patented his game after. And then, of course, Jordan, who he's patented his game after, who Tyronn Lue spoke to that. And Kawhi Leonard, to me, I think his post game makes him very versatile. And he's a much more three-dimensional scorer than a James Harden or something like that. Because Kawhi, you can run your offense through him in the post, right? Which is very unique, right? You can get other players involved in all of this. So those are generally the three best players. When people talk about the best top 3 players in the world, those are the 3 players that usually come to mind. Now, if we're going to talk about him finishing the year as being considered the best player in the world, I think a few things need to happen. Number one, I think he needs to be the driving force for the success of his team, right? I think it's that simple. Number one, let's talk about what that actually means. Let's talk about the thing that most people like to talk about, leadership. Serge Ibaka recently made some statements where he said when he came to LA, he spoke to Kawhi Leonard and spoke to him about being more of a galvanizing leader, getting people together, leading, and how the team will galvanize around you. And there's some truth to that, right? There's some truth to that. And it seems like Kawhi, on some level, seems to be a bit of an introvert. From what I'm kind of, understanding about him from afar, I don't know the guy. He seems to be an introvert. However, in that position that you're in as the best player on the team and the number one option on that team, you need to kind of, augment your personality a little bit and be more and be more open with people, galvanize people and bring them together. Because whether he likes it or not, teammates are looking at him because he's the best player on that team. And I think he's really made an improvement this year and made a point on really trying to bring guys along, being more friendly and being more outgoing. Right? I think he's changed up his routine. Tyronn Lue has spoken to the fact that how now he stays after practices. He practices hard. He gets up shots. And I think he's trying to lead by example, but also being available to other players if they need him. I think that's the next step in leadership that he has to take. And it's not something unique to Kawhi. A lot of great players have had to take the next step. Kobe Bryant had to really mature as a basketball player, as a leader, for him to really go out there and win those 2 titles that he won after Shaq. And if you go and listen to Kobe, he spoke about how he really needed to figure out a way to really bring guys along and infuse his DNA into players. So I think that's the next step that he's taking, and I think is going to bode well for the team's success. Secondly, I think the Clippers need to win the title. I think the Clippers need to win the NBA title for a few reasons. Number one, for how they ended their season last year. Number two, given the fact that they've never won a title in the history of that organization. And number three, I think it would silence a lot of critics if they go out there, win the title, and this guy goes out there and wins the Finals MVP again for the 3rd time. I think there's no way at the end of all of that people can look at the guy and say he's not the best player in the world. I don't think there's any way you can do that. Currently, the title goes through the Lakers. I've said that before, and I'm going to say it again. The title does go through the Los Angeles Lakers, but if he's able to go out there and win the title and win a Finals MVP award again, then I don't think there's any case that you can make for Kawhi Leonard not being regarded the best player in the world. And if he does that, the Max Kellermans of the world are going to jump right back on top of the bandwagon and say, "Hey, go Kawhi Leonard," and he's going to say, "Oh, new information has come out, and therefore he's now." That's going to be Max Kellerman for you. But I think if he does those things and those things happen, I think at the end of the season he can be considered the best player in the world. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think if Kawhi Leonard goes out there, helps the Clippers win a title, wins the Finals MVP, he will be considered the best player in the world, be considered the best player in the world? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, be sure to check out the next video that we have linked at the end of this video here. Be sure to check that out if you enjoy that video. If you enjoy this video, definitely going to enjoy that video. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.